After me is Chris. It's Karen, Ken, Chris, Craig, and Kim. So the next one past me is Chris, and he's a year and a half older than me. So depending on when our birthday is, it seems like he's 2 years older or just 1 year older. And Chris, you might find that picture that there's him standing on a submarine with the American flag in the back. It's what Chris calls his Superman photo. And Chris was for a long time kind of like the all-American kid. I mean, he's built, good looking, straightforward, everything basic. All-American, he's the kind of guy when he was young used to do jumping jacks in front of the mirror and sing Macho, Macho Man. Kind of a funny character, actually. Chris, I love Chris. Chris is a family person. He's always tried to be, even in our family is very broken up now that we've all gotten older. When we were young, we were very close. Now that we've gotten older, we've all grown up to be individuals and we don't want to have a lot to do with each other as much. But Chris has always tried to be the family leader. He's always been my father's favorite for a long time. And I think he knows that and he plays on that. And he really wants to keep the family together and have the family be together and different things. And holidays, he doesn't want extra guests there. He just wants the family because he thinks that it's a family time. And when he came back from the Navy, before my brother went for the Navy, me and him were the best of friends. And when he came back from the Navy, me and him got in terrible fights for a while because I had known God and my brother was still the same. In my opinion, I felt that he was still atheist, and there was a conflict there because the God in me was so real that I couldn't just allow, I don't know. We just couldn't agree on things. But now as time is going on, it's not a problem because we don't have to interact with each other very well. Lisa Valenta used to be, what was Lisa's last name? Lisa, oh gosh, now I'm forgetting Lisa's old last name. Wow. Oh, well, I can't remember. Lisa's a very nice person. I don't know if I'm not sure. When they first got married, I really thought that their marriage was wrong, and I thought that they weren't going to make it together. And sure enough, they went through a lot of struggles and a lot of fights. And then they had a baby. And it may be that the baby kept them together. Financially, they're doing fine. In other ways, I don't know. How their relationship's going, it's hard to tell. Sometimes I think it's very stressful, but they're surviving and they're making their own way. They have their own place to live in. And their baby, who is Kira. Kira Valenta, and I don't remember Kira's middle name. But I don't know what else I have to say about this. Is Ken, my oldest brother. He's about 29 now, or 30. Oh boy. See, he's about 5 years older than me, something like that. But anyway, he's the black sheep of the family. Ken's always been in trouble. He's done better over the last couple of years. But in the past, he's been known to have problems with drugs, problems with depression, problems with all kinds of psychotic episodes, which might have been drug-induced. He's a hard worker. He's good with his hands. He has some sides to him that are very deep and personal, but just very hard to get into. He has believed in God before, but sometimes I don't know what it is with Ken that really hurts, but it always seems like there's something hurting him inside, and I really don't know what that is. But I just hope, he has a hard time keeping jobs and so on and so forth. And I just hope that he takes good care of himself, because not every people have been taking care of him for too long. So I hope he can learn to take care of himself when that ends. My oldest sister is Karen. Karen is my father was kind of had two levels, or double standards, I should say. He loved all of his children completely equally, and sometimes he would speak about women and men being able to do the same things, and it really didn't matter. But most of the time, he created a double standard, which is women aren't able to do the things that men are able to do, be their own bosses or run their own companies or do whatever. And even if he didn't say it, he did project it. He projected it with my mother, projected it with himself and with the children. Now Karen is one of those people, or she learned to rebel against that. And she's doing exactly what you wouldn't expect. And that is she's our own boss in wallpapering. I've always had some admiration for Karen, because she's overcome. She hasn't let the depression or the dysfunctional part of our family get to her as much. Maybe she has on some other levels, but at least hasn't affected the fact that she's working, the fact that she's surviving, the fact that she's not falling apart completely. And Karen had a baby, a guy named Robert Franklin, who they weren't married, and Robert didn't plan on getting her pregnant, but I think she did. I think she wanted his baby. That's Melissa. I love Karen. Sometimes I worry about Karen because she doesn't know how to handle herself. She doesn't know how to treat people or even talk to people sometimes. She has some problems understanding basic conversations, or how to be kind and nice to someone and not let them take advantage of you. And I think she's been taken advantage often. So she kind of became used to the fact that people are going to take advantage of her, and I think that's unfortunate. And the only thing I ever want to do when I'm around her is not take advantage of her. But I hope to God that she stays strong and doesn't let any stereotypes of women or men relationships or whatever get her down or take away her independence or her strength.